Hey, second graders, it's Mrs. Daniel from Citizenship Academy, and today we're going to look at Module 5, Lesson 7. And our objective today is to share and critique solution strategies for varied addition and subtraction problems within 1000. So today, you're going to be thinking about what strategies can you use to solve these problems. It would be helpful if you have somebody around you that you can kind of talk about your solutions with. If not, I want you to at least be thinking about what solution could you use to solve the problem. So here's our first problem. 697 plus 223. We've learned lots of strategies so far of how to solve these problems. We've done number bonds to the nearest 100. We've done compensation strategy, and we've also done the arrow method where you draw the arrows and you can go up plus 10. So these are, or plus 100. So these are all strategies that we've done in class or online. And I want you to think about what strategy would you use for this problem. If you have paper and something to write with, that would be super helpful. So you can write down your solution. 697 plus 223. I'm going to give you a second to think about it. I'm going to think about what strategy I would use. So one strategy we could use is a number bond to make a new 100. Okay? So if we wanted to make a new 100, what would we do with this number here? How would we break it up so that we would be able to give some of it over here? So how many more do we need from 97 to get up to 700? 97. 7 plus what equals 10? Okay. 3, right? So 697 and 3 would give us 700. So then we just take our 3 from here, and what are we left with is 220. So that's what comes down here. So we're basically breaking up 223 into two different parts, and one part is going to help us, and we can add it to the other number to make it easier for us to add the number. So we're going to add 697 plus 3, and that gives us 700. And then we'll add 700 plus 220. And this is a pretty easy addition problem to solve. 920. Let's look at another problem. 609. Oh, this is the same problem. We're going to think of a different strategy we could use, okay? Because today's lesson is all about thinking about the different strategies you can use to solve the same problems. So that strategy, the number bond, that was one strategy, but that's not the only strategy. And maybe that's not the strategy that you were thinking of. Maybe you were thinking of a different strategy. Maybe the arrow way to make a new 100. This is one of my personal favorite strategies. So we start with 697, and we're going to do our arrows and count up 223. So we can say plus 3, and that's going to give us 700, right? So there's our 3. Now we can go up plus 200. That's our 200 here. 700 and 200 more is going to give us 900. And then from 900, we're not done yet. We did our ones and we did our hundreds, but we haven't done our tens yet. So we have 2 tens, so we have 20 left. So we're going to have to say plus 20, 900 plus 20. And it makes it pretty simple to add 920, which is the same answer we got in the last problem when we did our number bond strategy. Here's a new problem. 864 minus 380. So just like with the other problem, we have lots of different strategies we can use. I want you to try a strategy on your paper. I'm going to give you a second. If you need more time, please pause this video and finish writing out your problem. We're going to think about how we could solve this problem. So we're going to do a number bond again to make a new 100, just like we did before, but this time it's with subtraction. So we're going to look at 864 and we're going to break it up by putting 80 and 784. This way, we can do this, and we can take away our 80. Remember, we're subtracting, so we'll take away our 80. We'll be left with 300. And that makes it much easier to subtract. So now our subtraction problem is 784 minus 300. That's a much easier way to subtract. It's easier to subtract just 300 from 784. And our answer is 484. Let's look at another way to solve this problem. We can use our compensation strategy, okay? So remember, with our compensation strategy, if we add something to one number, we have to make sure we add that same amount to the other number. So in this case, we're looking at this 80 and we're saying, okay, if we add 20 to 80, that's going to bring us to our nearest 100. That's going to make it easier to add. So now, instead of this problem, because we added 20 to each of our numbers, our new numbers that we're going to be working with is 884 minus 400. We're still going to get the same answer because we did the compensation strategy and we added the same numbers to each side, but these are much easier numbers to work with. So 884 minus 400 is going to give us 484. And like we've said before, when we add the same amount to both numbers to make an equivalence, we call this compensation. Here's a new problem. 490 plus 275. I want you to think about what strategy could you use to solve this problem. We already have this little caret mark here, which shows us we're going to use our number bond strategy to make a new 100. So we want to break this up to make this closest to its next, not closest, but we're going to bring it to its next 100. So 275, in order to bring that to its next 100, if you think about quarters, remember 25, 50, 75, 100, and you're counting in groups of 25. So we need 25 to add to 275, okay? So then what are we left with after we take 25 from 90? We're left with 65. Now, this 25 is going to come here with the 275, and that gives us 300. So now we're going to add 465 plus 300. And that's going to give us 765. Even though we manipulated these numbers, our answer is still going to be the same, whether we added it with this to straight out these numbers, or we use associative property and we take some of this and add it here, either way, our answer will still be 765. And another way we can prove that is by using a different strategy to solve the same problem. So we can use the arrow method to make a new 100, and we will still get our same answer. So starting at 490, we're going to add, starting with adding 10, okay? So if we add 10, we get up to 500. Now we're at our next 100. Now from there, we can add 200. Okay, so they did 10 from here. Now we just did 200. It's going to give us 700. And then what do we have left? We have 65 left. And that gives us 765. The same answer we got on the last problem. Okay. And we can also use a number bond. Taking part 380 plus 223. So we can take 20 to bring over to this 80 to make it 400. And then what we're left with is 203. So now our new addition problem is 400 plus 203. This makes it super simple to add. So we get 603. Either one that you use, you would still get the same answer. And we also have the arrow way to make a new 100. So 380 plus 20. So we're doing our 10s plus 20 gives us 400. Now we can add our hundreds. We have 200s. Gives us 600. And what do we have left but 3 ones? 603. 603. I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.